Like through here and down, or how?
The other side.
So out and around. Okay. On the other side, from the front. Does this gate move? Carla, how do you get between the two? Let me just be frank with you. I don't care about licensing. I don't care at all.
The kids are at the park.
Then why do I hear music coming from down?
I don't know. I'm so sorry.
And you hide in the backpacks from me like a cat on a tin roof. Weird. You know?
Yeah. I hear
All of this, it's a succession of events that is altogether not okay.
Mm-hmm.
If there's kids downstairs, we can deal with that, but you got to tell me how to get to them. I just want to lay eyes. So tell me how to get to the kids.
I don't know why you're hearing music, and I'm really sorry. If they want to see kids, they can go to the park. The kids are over there.
And that'll be our next step. We'll go look there.
Okay.
But why am I hearing music from down there?
I don't know.
And as soon as we mention that, you text somebody and it shuts off. That's weird.
No, I'm not doing that. I can
Okay.
show you.
Let's go stand over here.
Okay.
I know.
There's a window on the side. And
In that window down there.
yeah, it's got blinds on it. We don't put blinds in it.
Even if there is a crowd.
More time has elapsed as Officer Landon continues to search doggedly for a way into the basement. Just then, Officer Parker notices something that sends a chill down his spine.
Hear that kid crying?
Yes. He
Oh,
used to
okay.
be crying there.
Well, I don't know where. Just from when I was standing here, I heard a
Yeah,
small
I
kid.
heard it
Maybe
too.
from maybe behind me.
Right here. Over here.
Do you know how's it?
You guys
Oh.
have a search warrant?
You know, at this point, we're looking for kids.
I know.
We're concerned for the welfare of kids. And until we find those kids, we're here for exigent circumstances. So if you want us out of here, tell us where that basement is. We heard a kid
I
crying.
just heard a kid crying like 6 seconds ago. Maybe 10 seconds ago.
Listen, this started small, and it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger until you tell us where those kids are. How do we get to them?
They're at the park.
Then why are we hearing kids coming from your basement?
As Carla continues with the facade, Officer Landon returns to her frantic search of the house, but it's Officer Parker who's about to make the discovery they've been hoping for.
Hey, Isaac.
Found a thing.
Turns out there's a basement.
As they make their way into the hidden room that reeks of the smell of soiled diapers, officers are going to make an unbelievable discovery.
Cover up. Who are you? Who are you and why are you hiding all these kids down here? Get up. Get up. Hi, babies. It's okay, guys. It's okay. You ladies need to come here now. Both of you come here now. I don't know what's going on, but this is not okay. Do you have any weapons on you?
Can I put my shoes on?
I'm going to pat you for weapons first. You need to go upstairs and talk to my partner. Ma'am. Call 571.
I know.
We've about 20 kids down here.
In a revelation that stuns everyone, Officer Landon finds 25 very young children in the basement.
Sorry, I was just trying to.
Who are you?
Huh?
Who are you?
My name's Katie.
What is your deal with all this? Why are you hiding kids from us?
I'm not hiding them.
Kind of looks like it.
The woman Officer Landon is speaking with is Caitlin Nelson. More shocking details about her role will be revealed, but for now, Officer Landon lays it out to her that she is in trouble.
You're looking at an obstruction charge at the minimum.
I don't even know what this licensing thing is. I don't understand what this.
Well, all I know is law enforcement officers are in the house. You heard me knocking before. You heard me on the phone. I know she text messaged you and told you to shut the kids up. So you're looking at obstruction. I know you're watching the kids now, so I'm not going to ask you to pick the kids up.
Okay. No, yeah,
I need to list all these parents.
I don't know all the parents' names and stuff. I don't know.
How long have you worked?
I've just been babysitting. That's all I've been told. Babysitting.
For how long?
For maybe a couple months.
I'm gonna turn the light on.
I don't know if that.
Let them come out of here.
Ladies, are you going to be okay with these kids for a second?
Yes,
while I
well,
set
let
it
them
up?
come out. How long have you guys been down here?
Not very long.
Like, how long is not very long? Give me an estimate.
I don't know. Like an hour. Okay, maybe.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Well,
We were like all sleeping, so.
While Katie claims they were hidden for maybe an hour, a later affidavit for Christina Chrissy Swager states that Carla told them to take all of the children inside to the basement earlier that day. While it's unclear how long the children were down there, it seems to have been longer than an hour. It appears that all of the kids had been dropped off like normal, and Carla and her staff panicked once the licensing officials arrived, followed by police. Officers now focus on reuniting the children with their families.
If you will help me get unhandcuffed, I will get all of these parents here to pick up these kids.
Okay, we can handcuff you, but if anything squirrely happens, it's
Nothing
not going to be
squirrely.
good.
Nothing squirrely. I promise. Can we take care of our babies?
We're going to get the parents on the way. I don't know that you guys are fit to take care of babies because you hide them in the basement. When
Well,
Stop moving around.
we can change their diapers. We can get them
Yeah.
something to
there's
eat.
two ladies here that are working, and
They
that's
don't-
what.
They don't know these two ladies.
No, they're
Look,
understand. They're all freaked out.
These
freak
ladies,
out. Just
look,
start
I'll
calling
stay,
parents.
I'll stay right here.
Just start calling parents.
Can wait for the okay. Just hear me out. I get.
Just
it,
hear me out.
Okay, I get how you feel about me. Just listen. These three ladies can take care of those little guys, and I can get their parents on the phone. I can sit right there, and we can get them out the door to where they belong. Can we work as a team to do that?
But Officer Landon is not in the mood for negotiation and knows better than to give in to Carla's act.
Why are we here?
Yeah. How did we get to this point? That you're hiding kids in a basement and you're not being honest with me.
Mhm.
If the kids had supervision and it's just that you have too many kids, that's not a crime. I don't care. But when you're preventing me from doing my job and you're creating physical obstacles for me to do my job,
And I did all of
that's
that.
when I care.
Okay, I did all of that, and I'm guilty of all of that.
So just call.
Mm.
Just call. Katie,
What?
stand up for me. Put your hands behind your back, okay? What's your middle name?
Can I put my stuff in my pockets? Okay.
No.
Lay forward now.
Put it down right there.
Can I put my skirt down?
No.
real quick?
Oh.
It turns out Caitlin Nelson has a long rap sheet. In fact, there was an active warrant against her at the time of this incident.
Okay. Popularly acting for me, employee alienation, and active warrant for her arrest and detained Miss Nielsen. I later transferred her to my police
Today,
cruiser.
As parents receive calls to pick up their children, Carla has some news to share with them.
If you're unable to come quickly, don't worry. Just come when you can. They're closing the business down. So if you don't have to rush though.
Later
What?
interviews with parents highlight more horrific
As Blank explains, Blank occasionally goes through spells of having nightmares and not being comfortable in her room at night by herself in the dark. Blank stated up until this point, again, they would think that this was normal child behavior that parents went through, and although that might still be the case, they definitely had doubts now about where that stemmed from. Banks stated he understood that some kids were just that way and wanted to sleep with mom and dad. However, he was concerned because outside of that, Blank is a very independent, strong-willed child. Blank expressed that he was concerned about the way Blank would wake up in the middle of the night. Jesus.
Details about their children suffering from nightmares and not being able to sleep in the dark. Carla Marie Faith was found guilty of 26 counts of child abuse without injury, a felony count of attempting to influence a public servant, and another misdemeanor charge of obstructing a peace officer. She's
Jesus.
been sentenced to 6 years in prison and is currently eligible for parole, with the hearing set for August 2025.
Mm.
Caitlin Nelson pled guilty to 26 counts of child without injury and 1 felony count of possession of controlled substances. Though she failed to show up for her court date, something she's done for several charges in the past, Caitlin was sentenced to 365 days in jail, with credit for 135 days of time served and 4 years of probation. The probation requires her to complete a substance evaluation and comply with the recommended treatment, monitored sobriety, complete a child evaluation with the recommended treatment, and do 200 hours of community service. Christina Chrissy Swager had lied to police earlier and was actually an employee at Carla's daycare center.
Mm.
She was convicted of 26 counts of child without injury,
Jesus.
a felony count of attempting to influence a public servant, and a misdemeanor charge of obstructing a peace officer. She was sentenced to 2.5 years in prison, with an additional 3 years of parole, which she is currently on. Valerie Fresquez, another employee at the daycare, pleaded guilty to 26 counts of child without injury and took a plea deal that required her to testify against her former colleagues. She received a 2-year deferred sentence in March 2021 that she completed in March 2023, allowing her to withdraw the guilty plea with all charges dismissed.
Dang. That's crazy. It's terrible. Just terrible. So they were just dating kids so that they can go out and do, like, run errands and shit? What?
When I had our marriage ceremony, I had absolutely no idea what was going on. I had just turned 3. Things changed when Berg would call for me. He wanted to be with me, and this was like cuddle time with grandpa, which was basically child abuse. 13, 14, 15-year-olds were having sex with adults. And yes, many kids were getting pregnant. Kids were having kids. I was born in the Philippines in the 80s in David Berg's household. David Berg was leader of the Children of God cult. In his household, he had sort of 3 chosen children, as it were, which was his 2 adopted children, my older sister Davida, and then when my mom got pregnant with me, Berg decided that it would be a great idea to document a child's life from before their birth and sort of use me as an example of how to raise a child. So my life was heavily documented in a series of children's books called The Life with Grandpa. Berg was already known by that time of having extremely pedophilic views on raising children. My mother, Sarah Kelly, had already written the Davidito book at that time, which was a full child book, because Berg believed that children should be awakened as toddlers. He documented my mother's entire pregnancy, and actually the whole experience of my birth was written in a publications of the Children of God cult called Lifelines. And then once I came home, they continued to document my birth all the way up until I was about 4 or 5 years old, like growing up, learning how to walk. So the entire Life with Grandpa series was a 5-series kind of kids comic book. I grew up walking around the house and there would be board going on. There would be women doing tease videos around the house. There would be meetings where they would have inspiration and they would have children 12, 13, 14 years old, and they would literally be dancing for the home and taking their clothes off, and adults would be cheering. So I was exposed to a lot of at a very, very early age. It was always terrifying to me because I knew at some point I would have to be doing the same things. I just didn't know when. So the Children of God started as the family, like peace and love and joy and